Camelot 331 here, and I think we should talk today about something that's plaguing our society, a very small portion of our society. I grew up in a state called Alabama, a great, beautiful place where you can go to die. Usually, that's what people do. It's a pretty interesting place, especially in podunk places in Alabama, where there's like 7 people in your graduation class. All right? And everybody's related to each other for some reason. And I was the only one not related to anybody, so I got beat up and picked on, even by the teachers. That's actually not even a joke, by the way, getting slapped around. But when I was growing up, we had something in my school called corporal punishment. And what that is it's where teachers, the people that teach you things and you're supposed to trust with everything in life, we're allowed to take you outside the room or inside the room, whichever they prefer, to be honest, and beat the absolute living hell out of you with a giant wooden piece of board. A piece of wood. A giant piece of wood. They were allowed to quite literally beat you with a piece of wood that had holes in it sometimes because it made it hurt worse for some reason. Because aerodynamics is a thing. And that happened to me more often than I would like to admit, unfortunately. Now, when I was very young, this was all a myth to me. I didn't believe this until one happy day, my poor innocence was taken away from me brutally in 3rd grade. I was on the kickball field, and I was fat and not athletic, so I was back in the outfield, just chilling. And me and one of my friends were practicing Mortal Kombat moves on each other, which is totally normal kid behavior, let's be honest. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my coach, his name was Coach White, it was his first year, picks me up like a damn baby and takes me into the gym. And he goes and gets my homeroom teacher, which was, back then they taught every class for you, my 3rd grade teacher. And she came in, and I'm going to be honest, I was in 3rd grade, so I was a little young, but I kind of had a crush on her. Thinking back, she was pretty hot. She's smoking hot. Now, I don't really remember if that's true or not, but I was in 3rd grade, so it was fine. It was innocent. I wasn't going to get anywhere with this, but I was in 3rd grade. So when she walked in, I was like, all right, cool. I'm okay with this situation. She can hit me all she wants, baby. And unfortunately, that's still how it is. But no, Coach White, this giant man that looked like he was 30 feet tall, pulls out this paddle, tells me to bend over and touch the table, which is kind of like casting couch. It's kind of weird. And he proceeded to hit me several times, and it felt like my soul left my body, and I could see it happening. And I cried so much cries. My face was just infinite tears. So it's kind of like normal everyday life for me currently. But it was brutal as hell. Now, I want you to understand what happened here. I was in 3rd grade, and I was playing kickball, and I was practicing Mortal Kombat moves, and all of a sudden, this random guy was beating me with a piece of wood at school. All right? Now, let's get down to logistics. That was I think about that all the time, too. Like, you know how you can't remember anything from when you were younger? I remember every damn second of that. Did it emotionally and mentally scar me? Probably. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But at the beginning of the year, our parents was presented a document. This document they had to sign. Now, this document gave the teachers the right to beat the hell out of you whenever they wanted to and whenever they deemed fit. So as you can imagine, my parents, being the savages they are, signed the hell out of it 5 times. Because they wanted me to get 5 times the beatings, apparently. They didn't give a damn. And it's fine. I have great parents. My dad also beat me all the time, too. So that was great. Now, I'm going to reiterate, I have a great dad, and I definitely deserved it. So don't worry about that. It wasn't malicious. It was fine. We grew together as a family in the beatings moments. Those were my favorite times. My sister would come in and pull me off of my... Yeah, it was a good time. She would save my life. My dad would just beat me. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But so I didn't enjoy it at school. It was kind of embarrassing and terrifying. So let's fast forward a little bit. I was in 5th grade. It was 2 grades later, guys. 2 grades later. And me and my friends had a comic book. We were making a custom comic book. And we were drawing comics in it and trying to have fun. And we stapled it together, and it was really thick. Well, one of my friends was being a goody two-shoes and takes the comic directly to the principal for some reason. Now, it just so happens in the comic book, one of my comics had a little stick guy throwing a grenade. Like a grenade. That was an offense that you're not supposed to do, because apparently me being in 5th grade and drawing a grenade means that I would grenade somebody in real life, apparently, in 5th grade. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It is Alabama, so I could believe anything. So what happens now? I go into the principal's office, and they call my dad on the telephone. And they're going to ask my dad if they want me suspended or if they can paddle me right then. Okay? Well, my dad, being the ever-loving man that he is, without even the principal finishing their sentence, immediately says, yes, paddle him, and hangs up immediately. And I feel betrayed as hell, because I thought my dad would love to get in on some of this beating, but he didn't. He relinquished all the responsibility to the principal. So then again, I have to bend over and touch my toes, casting couch style, and get the hell beat out of me, which is fine. Don't worry about it. Another beating to you young Cody, molding my ever messed up future that you see in front of you today. But fast forward to 9th grade. I had a certain teacher. He actually held the LSU home run record for the baseball team there. His policy was, if you missed 2 or more questions on a homework assignment, 2 questions out of like 30, by the way, you would get paddled for it. So you can imagine every single male in my class got paddled, because the females didn't get paddled. The males got paddled. And I know what you're thinking. For missing 2 questions, you got paddled? Yes, that's actually what happened. That seems like the punishment doesn't fit the crime. That seems like jaywalking and getting 25 to life. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, one fateful day, a few weeks into the semester, I noticed I got a question wrong. And I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't have played Halo 2 last night. So a few questions later, I got another one wrong. And coach, he was a coach, told me to stand up, and he told me it's Hana time. That's what he said. He said it's Hana time. And he took me out right outside the door and paddled the living hell out of me. And I remember that one the most, because that's the one where I never pooped solid again. My farts have not made a noise since I was in 9th grade. That's what that man did to me. He beat the living hell out of me. And he did it to everybody, and every male in my class eventually got paddled by that guy. I guess he kind of liked it. But that was the last time I got paddled in school, was by that guy right there. He was pretty intense. And that is an exaggeration. Yeah, you missed 2 questions, you got paddled. It was pretty crazy at my school. Now, this brings us to the question, is corporal punishment okay? Is it okay? Now, there's a part of me that's like, yes, please beat the children, because they need to feel what I felt, the shame and the intense pain on my booty. That's the selfish part of me. But the honest, all jokes aside part of me is absolutely not for that. It is up to the parents to discipline a child always, regardless of if you think you should be slapping your kids around stuff. You know, regardless of what you think you should be doing, it always should fall on the parents' shoulders. It should never be some random teacher at some random ass school beating your children for no damn reason. I feel like that's kind of barbaric. And it could lead to psychological issues, because a random person beating you is scary. If you're walking down the street, you go into a football game, you walking down the street and some random guy slaps you in the face, that's demoralizing. I'm pretty sure. I had a guy rob me with toenail clippers once. I was demoralized. If my dad robbed me with toenail clippers, it would be much more comfortable. It would be normal in my family to do that to your family member. But the thing is, guys, what is happening in Alabama right now? The place where I got beat growing up. What's happening right now? Shocking. Neighbor states stop paddling disabled students, but Alabama schools still swinging away, baby. Look at the paddle. That's exactly what they look like, by the way, when they're beating them all up in you. All up in you. Unbelievable. It says Alabama continues to paddle more kids than the majority of the states that allow it. Federal civil rights data from 2015, the latest year available, shows about 43% of Alabama schools use corporal punishment. Keep in mind, that was recently, and more than half of those schools hit kids with a range of disabilities at a higher rate. Shocking. Paddling a child who doesn't know while you're paddling them or cannot incorporate that information to prevent a future act is just cruel and ineffective. Like I said, I was practicing Mortal Kombat and I got destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And all I was doing was trying to be Sub-Zero. And then they made me Sub-Zero. That was, no. You can't be Sub-Zero twice. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that paddling is constitutional. That's fine. Don't worry about it. So just beat your kids. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that corporal punishment should be allowed in schools like me? Do you think I should be beat more? Because now I'm an older man. I'm an old man. And now, just for me to enjoy life, I have to get regularly beat by the females in my life. In the same manner. See, I have been forever changed by school. And is this necessarily a good thing? I don't think so. It's a good thing when it's happening. It's very exciting. But thinking back, what could my life be if that didn't happen? It's a pretty insane thing. Let me know your stories in the comments if you've received the same type of punishment in your schools. Tell me what you think. Tell me all about it, baby. Hot diggity damn. That's all I have, folks. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you message me on there. It's going to be a great time to be alive. And also, don't forget to get the hell on it. Diggity doggone it. Bye. Yeah, it was so hard picking these up because I'm messed up from corporal punishment. I can't even look my elders in the eyes anymore without accidentally, in my pants. I got a weird life in